Christmas is in the air. It's Christmas already. Now, art is ageless because anyone can do art. Even a child can create a masterpiece. Art is timeless because every generation have their own arts. Welcome to the show, and I am Tulokwe Lamidi. Fobali Arts World Africa presents the Professional and National Undergraduate Arts Competition at the Lagos Continental Hotel. Let's take a look.
We have come up with quite a number of initiatives to give visibility to contemporary artists in Africa and in other parts of the world. And one of the initiatives we have come up with is called PEX. What is PEX? PEX is Professional Artist Exhibition. We deal with professionals at Fobali Arts World Africa because we are particular about excellence and we're particular about the quality of artwork that we put out there. And that is why we deal primarily with professionals. Who are the professional artists? Professional artists are the people who have gone to school to get learnings from the four walls of higher institution in addition to their talent. So it's not all about talent, it's not only about the talent, it's about the professionalism that is put to the talent. And that's why we are particular about professionals. However, we've noticed the dearth of platform, inadequate platform for Nigerian artists to actually showcase their talent. The first runner-up will going home with 200,000 naira, while the second runner-up will be going home with 100,000 naira. And this is going to be a yearly event, and the top 10 are here to compete today to compete to get the winner. So however, for the people among the top 10 who could not scale through, they are going to go home with their consolation prizes, and this is how that will be put together by Fobali.
I deal with oil paint on canvas majorly, and sometimes I love to paint landscapes too. So behind me is a piece I titled. Behind me is a piece I titled "Making Ends Meet." All right, it's about talking about the normal life of a Nigerian. Probably every Nigerian. Okay, trying to make ends meet, despite the fact that we are going through a lot of difficulties. Yeah, so that's what that painting is all about. For me, African art used to be something that's not really accepted. But now it seems it's going global, and people are actually trying to embrace it all over the world.
We are here today for the Professional Artist Exhibition, and as you can see, it is a very well attended event. But more remarkable is the fact that we've got artists from all over Nigeria representing institutions of higher learning, reputable institutions like University of Lagos, like Yaba College of Technology, and to think that young people with all of this sort of talents have created the quality of arts that we are seeing here that are very capable of sitting anywhere on the global space, I find remarkable. But I also find more remarkable the vision that drove this, the vision that makes entities and organizations like For Bali to bring resources together and bring and create a platform to keep young people engaging and expressing their arts. I find that very remarkable.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the winner of Professional Artist Exhibition 2022 by Kobali Art World Africa, all the way from the Polytechnic Ibadan. Oh
I feel so delighted. I'm very, very happy. Well, I won't say I'm surprised because I'm prepared. I'm prepared. I've invested so much in art even before getting here. I just trusted God that one day everything will turn out fine. So I'm happy that I won the competition, but I'm not surprised.
As part of celebrating the 2022 Lagos Photo Festival, the African Artists Foundation, AAF, presents an official unpackaging the suitcase handover of late Prince Oyenuga from Prince Briongos to the Oyenuga's family at the Spanish Consulate, Lagos.
My name is Ana Maria Briombos. I come from Barcelona, Spain, to fulfill the desire of my mother, Luisa Guadayol, who was entrusted by Prince Emmanuel Adewale Oyenuga with a suitcase that he left to her to keep up while he come back to pick it up in Barcelona, but he never came back. And 15 years after, we found this locked suitcase at the basement of the house of my mother, and she wanted to give it back to the family that it belonged. We opened the suitcase, and she was surprised to find that inside there were hundreds of photos and hundreds of letters that recounted the story of a family in Nigeria.
In 2020, we launched the Home Museum, Rapid Response Restitution, and the idea was to spark a civic intelligence around the conversation of restitution amongst everyday people. Not just about the government, not just about people at the top of the involved in politics and diplomacy, but we wanted the conversation to really permeate society. And so the idea was, the idea led to where we are today. Anna Briongos got in touch with me in January of 2021, and she expressed an interest in restituting the suitcase to the family of Prince Adewale Oyenuga, who was a Nigerian prince studying at the Escuela Massana in Barcelona, Spain. And he left his beautiful archive of photography, drawings, paintings, images, and a sword, an ancestral sword, with the family. and asked that the family look after it and he'll come pick it up. But he never came back. And so it became a quest. And we made it the focus of Lagos Photo 2021. And through it, we were able to start to search for the Oyenuga family. And today we're here to celebrate the return of the suitcase to the family. And so today we are happy to have Prince Doyin Adenuga here with his children. And I believe that they understand that if we've gone through all of this effort to find them, they understand the importance and the signification of this archive. And that, yes, it does belong to the family, but my genuine feeling is that it also belongs to society at large, and it deserves to be seen by the wider public.
During Lagos Photo 21, African Artists Foundation engaged the general public in a discussion about restitution through the legacy of the artist Prince Emmanuel Adewale Oyenuga with his discovered archive suitcase. After schooling as an art student in 1960 Spain, Prince Emmanuel Adewale Oyenuga left a suitcase with his archive with his close friend Luisa Gadayol in Barcelona. Luisa passed away in 2016, and her daughter, Anna Brian Goses, contacted AAF with the aim of returning the suitcase to Emmanuel Adewale Oyenuga and/or his family in Nigeria. Since last year's announcement, the organization has successfully located his living relatives and will have a ceremony to officially hand over the suitcase with his son, Doyin Oyenuga, as the family representative.
I am Oyenuga Adimayowa. I am one of the grandsons of Adewale Oyenuga, the first grandson to be precise. I'm coming to this event today. I'm excited, I'm happy to see the good works of my grandfather. He has done so well for himself. He brought out art and design in a very beautiful way, in a very special way, in a way that I'm sure he would be happy wherever he is. And I'm proud to represent my family here in opening the suitcase. And I'm happy. Everything that has been in the suitcase has been something to be proud of. History is in the making, and very special thing that can be presented to Nigeria and our culture at large.
Today on Gallery, My Dream Gallery presents an exhibition of drawings of 7 Nigerian masters featuring Olusegun Adejumo, Olu Ajayi, Duke Asideri, Edosa Ojiugo, Abiodun Olaku, Ben Osage, and Sam of Variety. Let's take a look.
This is charcoal on cartridge paper, acid-free, and this is why it has retained its quality, because the materials are of very professional quality. They can stay like this for several years, and it lends credence to our professionalism, if you like, and also the ability to be part of a global creative ecosystem.
The works you're seeing on display today are a result of a workshop, a drawing workshop we had 20 years ago, which was initiated by Mrs. Teniola Aluko, who was Miss Tenny Edu at that time. Time has moved on. So 20 years after the works went on the ground, they resurfaced and we reconnected, all the parties involved, except unfortunately, one of us, our friend and colleague, Ben Osaga, who passed on in 2017, I think. So we, other six are here representing the collective. Every time something like this comes up, we continue to bless the soul and ask God for eternal grace.
To look back at 20 years back and then look at 20 years ahead, it's just in the imagination of the things that are possible. Yeah, things that are possible, things that can be done, things that will be done. How that 20 years is a flick, but their children were born in 2002, were out of the university. So it's literally treasure stored over time. Yeah, that's it. So I wake up every day wanting to share the part of my life on the surfaces. And I tell people, when you buy art, you don't just buy document. When you buy art, you buy a fraction, a part of that person's soul.
It's charcoal on 300-pound paper, and it's been like this in the past 20 years. So that's to confirm the integrity and quality of the material. That's to tell you that, yes, the materials that were used were of good quality. Now the subject is a model, a female model, that a live drawing, where we're to draw inspiration from the model to express certain situation. In this instance, she stands like a woman who has a lot of time to gossip, because of her pose. She's really relaxed, one hand on the wall and then on her hip line. But the balance of the anatomy, is the type that if she's resting on this hip, she's going to stand for a very long time. So I decided that, okay, you know what, there's something that's peculiar or common with people who are idle. When you're idling away time, you never know when you spend more time. And when she took that pose, I decided to depict that in this drawing, by the way she's like. So when you look at the painting, the drawing, really, you begin to imagine who is she in conversation with at the other side, that she has her hand on the wall, and that will engage you in a dialogue. We do that most of the time. So this is a very common pose that you might find on the streets. If you see this and you keep going and you find it. So it's one of the social behaviors.
The Seven Masters, it wasn't planned. 20 years ago, a young lady, Mrs. Teniola Aluko, convened a workshop, a drawing workshop, because she wanted to, project good draftsmanship, the importance of drawing as a foundation for all good art. An exhibition of the 35 drawings. There was a model, and the artists were all meant to interpret the model. In some bizarre circumstances, right after the exhibition, the portfolio of 35 drawings went missing. The artists were literally heartbroken, because you know what an artwork means to an artist. It's like a baby. And for 20 years, the works could not be traced. So it was wonderful news earlier on this year when someone turned up with a portfolio. It had been found, And I mean, the works were brought to the gallery, and because I knew the story, knew that the artists had been looking for the works and they had given up on never finding it. So we convened a meeting, and here we are today. The seven artists in 20 years have become 7 art masters.
"20 years ago, we got together to do a workshop. 1 model, 7 artists expressing themselves in their individual technique. So it was just the artists working on the figure with a specific interpretation of the figure. This exhibition should have been 20 years ago, but the works went missing and they're back, and here we are having an exhibition.
And that's our package on today's show. A very special thank you to you for watching. Now keep living in the arts, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.